Good evening. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Coaching Corner with me, Jamila, the IEP Coach. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hello, 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 everybody. As always, welcome to the Coaching Corner. It's Tuesday. We go live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about all things special education. It's what we love to do. For those of you who are new to our page, I am Jamila, aka the IEP Coach, and what we do at the IEP Coach LLC is we help principals keep their special education teachers from leaving the field by providing the teachers with training and PD and coaching gear tailored to their needs. So that way they feel supported and ultimately they stay. We also give support to parents, helping them understand the special education process as well as the IEP process. Okay. So, you know some admin, you know some principals. Pass on our information so we can get into those schools so that way we can support the teachers. Okay. Hello and happy Valentine's Day to everyone who is, out there celebrating Valentine's Day. I did a little red today. I got a little red, just a little bit. Oh, nothing fancy. Something light, just something light. As always, if you're catching this on a replay, please put hashtag replay in the comments. And also, as always, share this out with as many people as possible. And if you see me turn to my left, I am on my IG. So make sure you share this out. All right. And I'm sharing this out right now as well. Hello, one underscore woman show. Assalamu alaikum, Amina underscore Amina underscore B. Assalamu alaikum. Let's go ahead and share this out. And also, if you are on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, please let me know if my sound is not clear. Let me know in the comments because I've been doing good, but let me know in the comments if my sound is off and it is not as clear. And I'm going to check to make sure just to see. So share this live out, share this live out, share it out, share it out, share it out. All right. Share this out, share it out. I am sharing this out as well. Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Alrighty. Share it out, share it out, share it out. All right. Okay, I just shared it out. All right, we're just going to double check to make sure our sound is good on our other pages real quick. Let me see. Hold on, let's check to make sure we are good. Let me check LinkedIn, see what that sounds like. Let me see. Okay. Looking good and sounding good. Great, 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 great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. So, hello. Oh, alaikum assalam. So, as you know, I always do a reel. Assalamu alaikum, different expectations. As you guys know, I always do a reel to kind of let you guys know what we're going to talk about, on our live on Tuesday. So, I recently supported a teacher with coaching her with having a conversation with her students about being accepting of students with special needs. Walaikum assalam, Thomasina. Okay? And the conversation applies not just to children with special needs, it's just being accepting of people that are different. People who may not believe what you believe, people who may not look like you, but being accepting of others and being respectful of others. Okay? But in this particular so the conversation can apply to that. But in this particular situation, it's a student in her class that has autism, and some students weren't being as accepting and as, I'll say, as patient as they should be. And this is something that has been going on for a while. And she, reached out to me for support on how to have this conversation. And it just made me think of just management in the classroom. And it also made me think of the importance of cultivating inclusive culture in the classroom, because the classroom is like a home away from home for students. This is like, it's the classroom becomes like an extended family at school. And you don't allow people to just be mean and say mean things to the people in your family, and you advocate for each other. And it's something that is very important that teachers need to do in the classroom. Advocate, teaching students how to advocate for themselves and also for each other. Okay, so immediately, and it made me think back to when I was younger with my little sister. And those of you who follow the IEP Coach LLC, you know that I have a younger sister that has a an intellectual disability. And growing up, I was very overprotective of her. Very overprotective. I didn't want nobody bothering us when we went out. I couldn't really relax. I was always on guard. Like, if anybody said anything to my sister, stuff to my sister, I'm ready to fight. That's just how I was, because she sees the good in everybody. She's nice to everybody. So if I ever saw anybody snickering, or you know how you could tell if somebody is talking about somebody, they do the whispers and all that other stuff, I was ready to just go off. And that's how I am. That's how my other sisters are when it comes to our little sister. That's how it is. And when the teacher was sharing what was going on, it was really starting to route up those emotions in me. Like, I immediately was like, I had to remember that I'm in a school. You don't step to children like that. Like, you're ready to fight. But that was the like, it brought back those feelings that I used to feel when I was younger with my little sister. I was very overprotective of her, and it brought back those feelings. And I had to check myself in a moment and be like, these are kids. You ain't trying to fight these kids, and they may not be aware of what they're doing. They may not be aware of the body language they're giving, the energy that they're giving off to this particular student. So with the teacher, one, we had to look at, is this elementary, is this middle, is this high school? And this was middle school. So I said, we're not going, no cookie cutter, no, we're going to just be straight up, with these particular students. We're going to have a straight up conversation, a discussion with them. And we're going to be, just upfront and honest about what it is. And of course, we didn't want to make the student who they weren't being that accepting of, we didn't want to make them feel no type of way. And it just happened to work out this particular day that student had to go to a related service. So the student was not in the room, so we could have a straight conversation with the students. And what I recommended to the teacher was to definitely state, what is the issue? State what you're seeing, what don't you like, what's the behavior that they're exhibiting. Just be straight up and share, what it is. And so basically the teacher, and I supported the teacher while they were doing it. So the teacher was just giving examples of how the students were responding to and we're going to give this student, we're going to call him Bob, how she didn't like how the students respond to Bob when he exhibits certain behaviors or if he does certain things. And then she gave those examples, and she also shared, this Bob is a person. Bob has feelings. Bob notices when if you have to work with him and you go, ugh, he takes that in, he internalizes that. And he takes, he feels some type of way. You can hurt his feelings doing that. And you know how you feel when someone does that to you. And then also just sharing how, some of the students, you have siblings, you have family, you have people in your community who have certain needs or have special needs, and you don't like it, if someone steps to them or if someone treats them a certain way. So you should not do that to Bob. And then also the teacher just expressed disappointment she had in some of the other students who did not speak up to tell the teacher or did not speak up to advocate for Bob. And while you are, and as a teacher, when you do have this conversation, while you are expressing disappointment or not liking what you see, also make sure you praise students who are doing the right thing. And that was something I recommended to the teacher as well. So she also shared, and to those of you who have, I see you. You know, I see exactly what you do. You know, like if Bob does something that may not be appropriate at the moment, you just say, Bob, you don't got to do that, Bob. Or Bob, make sure you cover your mouth. You're very subtle with it, very subtle with it. So you're not putting Bob on the spot. You're not blowing up the whole situation for all eyes to be on Bob, because you know you don't like that feeling when all eyes are on you. And then she gave the her class the moment to speak. Like, does anyone want to speak on their own behalf, or does anyone have anything to say? Because when you have conversations with your students, whether elementary, whether it's middle, whether it's high school, after you speak, give the students an opportunity to speak, to share their feelings, to share out what they may be thinking, to help them process the discussion. And then also just say, hey, if you don't want to speak right now, you know where to find me. You can talk to me privately. Because all students may not be willing to just open up right then and there to say something. Or sometimes, just like as adults, we need to process the conversation. And then we can come back with a question that we may have. But when you are talking with students, let's not talk at them. Talk with them. You know, again, some students may not be aware of what they're doing. And as a teacher, definitely if you see it, don't ignore that behavior, because then you're cultivating an environment where it's okay to look down on somebody or to view somebody as less than. Because you can do it with your body language, you can do it with your words. So it's very important that we model the proper behavior, and we also praise those that are doing the good behavior. And also what I liked that I saw with the teacher, she briefly spoke with them, and then another teacher was able to chime in and say, oh, here are some ways that you can let Bob know, like, oh, Bob, pull your mask up, or Bob, you know, here's the teacher modeled different ways that the students could, you know, not acknowledge, but to let Bob know that, you know what, Bob, that's not appropriate to do right now. Or because Bob may be unaware of the close proximity he's to somebody else, and could cough or sneeze and realize he's doing, you know, too close to somebody. Because you know how even as adults, how we are, if someone is too close and they happen to cough or do something, you say, hold up. But she really liked how, and I really liked how one of the other teachers was able to chime in and then to give examples. This is how you can do that. Let me see. Amal Abdul Malik Anderson says, I believe this process is drastically needed in weekend schools too. Absolutely. I think it's needed in all types of in all spaces involving children. And I would say even involving adults. You need to cultivate this space and make people feel safe and welcome. And then also another teacher was able to give them other examples of how they show that they may be annoyed with Bob or don't want to be around Bob. And the teacher shared, you need to watch your body language if you have to work with Bob or if you have to sit by Bob, you know? And then the teacher also just reiterated, this is a person. This person, Bob, has feelings. And also, I really liked how the teacher also shared just how hard Bob is working so that he can stay in the classroom, because he is fighting being overstimulated, because she really stressed, he wants to be treated like everybody else. And so she pointed out, think about what he's doing so that way he can just keep his composure to stay in class, because loud noises bother, Bob. And just the extra work he's doing to fight being overstimulated, or to how he may respond when he's nervous or when he gets stuck on a problem. Some people may laugh when they get nervous or or they feel like they get in trouble. You just might laugh, just laugh to laugh. Or someone could cough. Someone could pass gas or something like that. So, your body just reacts different ways when you're nervous, or if you feel, anxious or something like that. And it's just nerves that you have, and your body reacts, in certain ways. And you don't have to amplify what that person is doing. And I really love that she stressed, you don't got to amplify what Bob is doing. And then don't look down on him as if he is less than you and he's not a person. It's very disrespectful, and it is extremely rude, because you wouldn't want to be treated that way if somebody was to do that to you, or if somebody was to do that to somebody in your family, or your loved one, or someone that you knew. You wouldn't like it, and you don't like being put on the spot, so don't do that to somebody else. And do a better job of holding each other accountable. If you see your friend doing something or saying something they should not say, or they may be doing something to saying something to Bob, may not be speaking to him in the most respectful manner, check your friend. That's what real friends do. You check each other. You hold each other accountable. And it's okay to do that. It's nothing wrong with advocating for each other, advocating for somebody else who may not have the capacity or may not have the words to advocate for themselves. You can speak up for somebody else, and you're old enough to do that. And especially depending on the grade, let's say they get ready to go to high school or something, you better hope no one treats you like this in high school, because you're not going to like it. It's not a good feeling. But these are like conversations we definitely need to have in not just an educational space, but also just spaces involving children, just people. After school programs, scouting programs, school, sports team, like coaches, teachers, community leaders. You definitely need to cultivate family in your environment, and the importance of advocating for each other, advocating for yourself. It is very important that we do that. And it's very important that you do that at home. You teach these skills to your children, and you lead by example, because children, they are doing what they see done in their lives. So if you as an adult are not setting an example for the children, the youth around you, they're going to mock what they see you doing. So if you are not patient with someone who may have needs, or someone who has difficulty, and you don't give grace, they're not going to do it, because they don't see you doing it. And it's important that we teach these skills, because it teaches children, it teaches young people how to have empathy and how to be accepting of people that are not like them. Because too many times in this world, it's like, it's about me. I'm doing what I want. I don't care how I treat people. No, that's not the way to be. That's not the way to be. And we cannot treat each other that way. It's very important to treat people how they want to be treated. Treat people with respect, honor people's space, and treat people like human beings. It's very important. And this is something that you can teach children as small as kindergarten. When you can. A child is never too young to learn a routine or learn a new skill, or too old, in that matter. And these are things, lead by example, model what it is. And you can have these conversations with small children. You can have a discussion. Now, how deep you may go will depend on the grade you teach or the age of the children that you have. But please, adults, educators, coaches, please don't shy away from this conversation or turn a blind eye if you see a young person or just anybody not being as patient with someone with special needs, or just being patient with somebody else, not being patient with somebody, not giving grace to someone who may need help or who may be different. There's too much that goes on in the world where people get taken advantage of and people just don't do right by other people. It's enough with that. We need to do better and teach our children better, so that way they can exhibit proper behavior and they can exhibit respectful behavior to other people. And it doesn't matter if it's someone that has special needs or not. We need to respect other people. Whether you like a person, whether they're different from you, whether they have special needs, whatever, it don't matter. Treat people with respect. You don't have to like the person, but you will respect them. Okay? I just wanted to come on and just share that. That was something that really, the teacher and I, we debriefed afterwards, and it was just like, she shared that she can tell that some of the students were like really pondering on like what she said. Some students were confused, like, oh my God, who did that to Bob? Who did that to Bob? She said you could see, just the look on their faces. And some of them, are processing, what it is, like, dang, did I do something? Did I say something to Bob? Like, but it was very important. And I was happy I was able to support her in that moment. And it really took me back to my childhood when I felt like I was always advocating for my little sister. And just feeling those emotions get riled up in me a little bit, and really having to check myself, like, listen, you're an adult. You are an adult. You are an adult. Like, you're not how you felt as a kid. Listen, you can't have that energy with these children. You're an adult now, but that is how you feel. And I can imagine as a parent, you're ready to fight for your kid. A sibling, I was ready to fight for my sister. Absolutely. That was the energy I had. Because, again, hello, Nakaya Connolly. Hello. That whoever it is like, they may not have the capacity to understand that someone is being mean to them, or they may not see it. You see it. So you're ready to just go in on that person. But it's very important that we teach people, we teach our students, we cultivate these environments in our educational spaces where it's not tolerated demeaning somebody or belittling someone just because they're different. Okay, so that's all we have time for tonight on the Coaching Corner. Next week, there will be no Coaching Corner next week. No Coaching Corner next week. I'll be away. No Coaching Corner. Don't worry, I'll be back the following week. So definitely follow us on all platforms at the IEP Coach LLC. Definitely make sure you put #replay in the comments if you are catching the replay. And check us out on all social media platforms, again, at the IEP Coach LLC. And definitely, if you have any questions, reach out to us at the IEP Coach LLC. And also, connect us with your admin and your principal so we can get in your school and support the teachers in your school. All right? Until next time, have a good night and everyone be safe.